Absolutely, we are live here on justin.tv/Big Brother Bytes Back. You can Skype us in, video or audio, add the user Big Brother Bytes Back. And also to let you know to keep your comments coming in the chat room. We'll try and read out as many of those as possible. Richie says hopefully no opening night twist, and also a male first out in the regular series for the first time. Now, speaking about twists, that's where I wanted to go. We've had 2-3 weeks now of Celebrity Big Brother, and really the twists and surprises have been absolutely lame. There's been nothing really to equate with Big Brother 11, which of course had some incredible moments that were, I think in a sense, the producers throwing everything they could at what they thought was a format that was about to be killed off for good. Now, maybe it could be said that they did everything possible during Big Brother 11, but I felt like this series had a lot to prove. They talked about how it was going to be bigger and better, the biggest bruv ever. They didn't really do that, not yet anyway. I hope that they're saving some stuff for the next series.
If it's going to mock on like it has in the past 2-3 weeks for the standard series, it's going to be rough going, especially with an hour's programming. I had a good point to make now, and I'm actually completely forgetting what it was because I got sidetracked looking at those stupid clouds. What were we talking about again?
Well, in a sense, talking about how I've also lost it, but mainly the twists.
The twists, yeah, Jesus.
I know
what I was going to say, yeah. The lack of those oh my god moments where, you know, literally everyone in the room who's watched it, you just tell them to, you know, hush, something's going down here. I think I've had one, maybe. Yeah. One in the whole series so far, which is very low.
And just those amazing kind of twists where they would introduce something altogether out of the house, like a crane, and lower some SAS army guys into the back garden. Maybe we're talking about twists, you know, more eviction twists, more face-to-face nominations is something that I've always wanted. We've had things like the Diva Gate with Kerry. That was at the very beginning, you know, that was the first night. After that, one or two things, but like I say, I just hope there's enough in the tank for Big Brother 12. Have they got all sorts of stuff planned that we haven't seen? Now, of course, this show presumably operates on a smaller budget than Channel 4, and they probably haven't got as much remit to do things like they could maybe under that old regime. Maybe there isn't the same amount of cash, but I just remember there being such a, you know, a vibrant kind of a discussion about what was to come next. You know, every series it was, well, what are we going to have next? Rumours in the paper about what's going to happen, etc. There just doesn't seem to be that same kind of planning ahead, if you like. Sounds like they maybe are doing it day by day. And Unhappy says no opening twist needed. Says smallest bruv ever so far. Wings of Dave, rich house, poor house again. Now, of course, for me, Big Brother 3, at the end of that eviction, when you saw guys coming in with sort of fencing, dividing that house in two, one of the best I've ever seen.
You'd wonder if it's the change in writers, or if that is the case, or if it's the producers whose call it is, because it has been fairly naff, to be honest with you. You know, it really, if I'm being completely honest with you, it's been a pretty naff series of the Celebrity Big Brother. Thinking of the years when Barrymore was uneven, you know, I mean, you always got something good every night consistently, even if it wasn't the writers or the producers. You know, it was still there was enough there, I think, to tie you over. And without those controversial moments where, you know, you can create controversy so easy, I think with the housemates, you know, at the end of the day, Big Brother is like the puppet master, so it's just not doing his job as well as he used to. I think that's the main problem.
Maybe what they've done is decided we need to hold on to some cash. We need to keep these surprises for that 10-week run. Let's rely on the celebrities and their interactions. And in fairness, they have interacted. They haven't sort of sat around waiting for the show to end. Of course, this is the first time we haven't sat there listening to housemates go on about how, oh, the rap party is going to be on in 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. One of the downsides, I think, of the live feed, many will agree, is that people often kind of wish the series over before it had actually began. And I don't think these people did that at all. I think they kind of did settle in and maybe were happy actually to be considered celebrities. I mean, Paddy really was just another reality TV contestant. Amy Childs, a little bit of a reality TV contestant as well. So in a sense, I'm sure they were all thrilled to get those pay packets. Sad BB it's very fishy, not releasing the voting figures. It would make good news, so the only possible reason is to facilitate manipulation. And Unhappy mentioning that Big Brother 11 opening night twist, where of course we had Mario selected from a crowd of many people. Unhappy says the tombola was fixed for Mario. And I remember that at the start of that series they had them all lined up for that, and you kind of thought to yourself, are they all extras? Because one or two of them actually were. But I suppose that's another regime. We can't really complain too much about decisions like that. But do you think there's anything left for them to do when you consider the decade plus of twists and things? People mentioning there that fence divide. I know my mind goes back there, but do you like, for example, the twists of taking them out of the house, like the Jedward in Little thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not too fond of any of them coming out of the house, really, I think. But when it's a task like that, that's, I mean, it is what it is, you kind of get over it. And it was kind of fun with them, I think, a good choice of people, and definitely a good choice of stores with old Little getting a look in. But I suppose it's like anything. It's like a home and away. Our neighbours, they live on a street. What do we do with them this week? I think if the creative minds that be, just step it up a couple of notches, then there should be no reason why the show shouldn't be entertaining.
Yeah, I reckon there's more waiting. There's a lot to come, and I hope if there is an opening night twist that it will be something groundbreaking. I've always wanted to see that somebody goes in and then 15 minutes later they're gone, and make sure it's the most desperate wannabe there, get the 4 or 5 that really did want to be on there, maybe pick them in the beginning to kick out on that first night, the person who might react the most. I mean, imagine if you went back to Remember I Told You, Alexandra. I don't know if you remember that one, but I think I remember her for the wrong reasons. If you put somebody like that in that was going to seriously kick off and give them 15 minutes in the house, of course they've taken 2 weeks off before that to go into hiding, if they can still afford to do that, and throw them in and then say, right, now it's time to leave. Would it be pointless to introduce you to a character and then kick them out? I think it might create some instant drama among the ones that maybe are there.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, the controversial stuff always gets over at the end of the day, doesn't it? No matter what, it really does. It's
true, and you'd wonder, is the controversy still possible? Going back to Channel 4 and how people said they had their hands tied. Edits had to be there at certain times in the afternoon, and I think Channel 4 had the ability to veto stuff, and if they wanted it out, it was out. Of course, that all coming off the back of the Shilpa Shetty incident and things like that. But back then it was kind of a case of, well, they really nearly, in a sense, they endangered the channel, and it was that bad. The thing was all over Sky News with Shilpa, and it was probably the worst promotion they've ever had for Channel 4. I think Channel 5 are going to be very wary of that. But again, push those elements that are going to be controversial. You're going to have to do something for Big Brother 12 to keep those viewers as high as in a sense they have been so far. Unhappy says, all those who have been blocked on Facebook, make sure you complain to Facebook. The more the better. Channel 5 can't get away with this. And Richie says, wasn't that sort of tried in BB4 and we lost to Anushka? It was. I think it was about 2-3 days in. And as you say, yeah, you're likely to get rid of one of the interesting characters. Of course, Jade as well was almost chopped in the first week. Again, so these twists can work against you.
Just goes to show. And sometimes the outcomes, as much as you hate them, there's been many years where you got your head in your hands going, I can't believe they're going to win it, or I can't believe such and such got evicted many times. But what can you do? It's in the public's hands, and sometimes When it's not, it's in the housemates' hands, and they might not necessarily feel the same way as the public. And it just goes to show. I mean, I didn't think Tara Reid would get evicted as early as she did, I will say, but yeah, I think those are the other sides to the show that sometimes